Has HBO gone 3 for 3 on Game of Thrones shows?
Should this 6-episode series have been a movie?
How much comedy can you take in a swords and sorcery show until it becomes a literal shit show?
We'll answer those questions and much more on this episode of
The Joffrey Podcast.
I've been very busy. Many important matters require King's attention. I'm king now. King now. I am king. I am king. I am. Kiss it. I am. Kiss it again when I return. Your fingers or your king doesn't fingers discuss your battle plan. He's one, but your fingers or your tongue. I am the king. I'm telling mother. Oh.
Welcome to the Joffrey Podcast. My name's Bubba, and with me, as always, is someone who didn't get any luck. He was looking up at a tent in a pavilion and not the stars. It's Catfish.
Bubba, as always, it is a pleasure to be with someone who's never chastised me when I didn't deserve it. Oh,
I know that means I've chastised you so much. It's tough.
So many times.
Guys, we're going to be breaking down the first episode entitled The Hedge Knight. On his journey to a forthcoming tournament in Ashford, Dunk meets a clever young boy named Egg who offers to be his squire. On this podcast, we're going to play our classic match games. We're going to talk all the characters, debate what we want to go forward. Plus, we're going to enter the list. Catfish and I are going to joust against each other to determine a champion's purse. Catfish, let's get to it. What did you think of this first episode? What rating did you give to the first episode, The Hedge Knight?
Bubba, I gave this episode 1, 9.5 triple D's out of 10.
Triple D's?
Yes, delightfully disgusting dysentery. Bubba,
yeah,
they got me with the last hit from Sir, where he bangs his head against the post, the double hit. They pulled me in further with the stop raping, Sir. But Bubba, they won my heart. When the triumphant Game of Thrones music starts to swell and it leads into what I would like to call the splat. The guy is oafish, but he's also sweet. He's mostly naive. He's not an idiot. He seems like a good guy. But and best of all, Bubba, unlike the other 2 Game of Thrones series, you know what other information I need to know to enjoy this show?
Let's hear it.
Nothing. I don't need
That's
to remember
completely true.
Nothing. And this is so good. It's light. It's fun. It's telling an interesting story. And I don't need to remember nothing. Bubba, I felt like they have the tone from this show just down perfectly. And I am just so excited to go on this delightful, fun ride.
Wow. You may be the only person who I've heard who's really fond of that infamous scene behind the tree right there at the start. Wow.
Bubba, it's just beautiful. But we always say, nobody cares what you have to say. But what do you have to say, Bubba? What is your rating out of 10?
Well, Catfish, I'm not going to go as high as you did at 9.5, but I am going to give this 8 double S's out of 10.
Oh, yeah, double S. Wait, double S's?
Well, you know what that is. You talked about it. Squire Slaps. When you slap your squire because he deserved it, or in the case of the ricochet into the post, he didn't deserve it.
Better safe than sorry on the slaps.
I'm going to say this right up front. I went into this series with a bit of trepidation because it is such, I knew it would be such a shift in tone from those previous shows, which we both really like. And I was wondering if they could pull it off. I also know how slight this novella that this season is based off is. And I'm like, oh boy, is this going to be trouble? And I have to be fair. I love the show Andor, but I would always point out how, especially in some of the early episodes of an Andor season, the episodes themselves wouldn't end, they would just stop. And this first episode, to me, didn't really feel like an ending. It just felt like it stopped, which is unfortunate. That said, I had the biggest grin on my face when he was dancing with Lionel Baratheon and the silliness of those two. I laughed out loud a couple of times at just how silly and fun it was. So 8 out of 10 for me. Catfish, this is a great start to a brand new show, one that, Netflix, if they end up buying Time Warner, they're going to love to own. This is incredible. Really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let's face it. We've already got two with a lot of heavy mythology behind it.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
serious killing
Yeah.
stories. I think it is perfect to try something else. So far, fabulous.
Listeners, who cares what we think? We want to know what you think. If you're watching this on YouTube, go down and leave a comment. If you're brand new to us and listening to this on audio podcast, we've been podcasting about Game of Thrones TV shows for over a decade.
Oh, don't
reach out
date
to
us.
reach out to us on social media at Double PHQ, Blue Sky, Threads, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Double PHQ. We want to hear from you, and we got to get it up right out of the first. I mentioned that I know this very short novella. I got to look up the definition of novella to see if it actually is long enough to be a novella or a short story. I have read all three. Catfish, have you read these, what are called the Duncan Egg novellas?
I have read them deep in the past. Now you should check it because there's short story, there's novella,
Right.
and then there's novelette, which is longer, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
the novel. So yeah, I don't know what it's supposed to be. 20,000, 30,000 words? Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll
No.
find out what that is. As professional podcasters, we like to be completely unprepared for when we talk about
Catfish,
the
do
length.
you remember them well enough? I remember them well
Not at
enough
all.
to know that this first novella, entitled The Hedge Knight, like this episode was, this was my favorite of the three. So I am putting a lot of eggs in this basket, goose eggs in this basket of this one being good. So I want this one to be as promising as this first episode was. So you don't really remember too much because you read them so long ago, these
Yes,
three?
absolutely. I do not remember them much at all, except for it was Dunk and Egg.
Oh, heck yeah. Now, Catfish, you talk about this. It feels like as a viewer, you don't need to have watched any of the previous Game of Thrones shows. A lot of people are talking about how, well, here, hold on, let me put on my glasses here. Well, just so you know, this series is set about 97 years after House of the Dragon and 89 years before the first episode of Game of Thrones. But guess what? You're right. You don't need to know any of that stuff. You could come in clean. If you didn't know any better, this probably could work as historical fiction. This first episode especially, don't you think?
Absolutely. I was watching with a couple of people who are enjoyed Game of Thrones, but are not podcasting it to literally dozens of listeners like we are, and they wanted to know, is this happening at the same time? And I did tell them, no, this is happening before.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. So, listeners, once again, tell us what you thought. And if you are new and if you like our lighthearted take on podcasting after shows, we want you to join you in this calendar year 2026. Subscribe on audio podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere you download this, because 2026, we've got a whole lot we're going to cover. We're going to cover that new Star Wars movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu, House of the Dragon Season 3, Only Murders in the Building Season 6, Silo Season 3, Three Body Problem Season 2, and
What?
there's
I
a
was
good
dead.
and there's a good chance for Babylon Berlin Season 5 coming out in 2026 as well. So please
And we have a
follow
motto
us.
for this year, Bubba.
Let's hear it.
When it comes to subscribers, we're shooting for 6 in 2026. That's right, 6 subscribers.
That's all we need. Heck, and the way you become a part of this is not only for your feedback. On our Game of Thrones podcast, we always like to play, drumroll please, our match games.
Yes.
Night of the Seven Kingdoms match games, where we throw out a match game question and we see if you, our double L's,
Loyal listeners,
that's right, can come up and match us, or if we can match each other. Catfish, are you ready for the first question?
I'm ready.
Dunk calls himself, at the end of the episode, Sir Duncan the Tall. But after watching this first episode, he should really call himself Sir Duncan the Blank. Dunk calls himself Sir Duncan the Tall, but after this first episode, he should really call himself Sir Duncan the Blank. Catfish, we come to you. What do you have for us?
Sir Duncan the Wet Turd.
God. Oh, God. How did you like that scene? Ooh, it was so gross. Oh, my God. But, Catfish,
Yeah.
I tried to because we're getting back into these match games after not doing them for over a year. So I tried to give some match game questions that we could get some matches on. Hopefully this will count. I named him Sir Duncan the Shitter. Oh, I'm gonna give it a match.
All right, and our loyal listener, Patrick, I'm Patman Spinagle at Patman, Blue Sky, said he should be called Sir Duncan, the head trauma recipient.
That's a nice
All
way.
the doorways are too short for him.
A good, great loyal listener on Blue Sky, who's Satan Claus, S-Claus on Blue Sky, said he should be called Sir Duncan the Unvouched. That's actually one of my favorite answers there, Satan Claus. Brilliant as always.
All right. And Carol Yoso, also another loyal listener, and so loyal that their response was Sir Duncan the Loyal.
Oh, he was loyal. No matter how many times he got slapped, he's going to rep Sir Arlen. We love you, buddy. Hey, here we go. We have a Targaryen, Aegon Targaryen on Blue Sky said he should be called, Sir Dunk the Lunk, thick as a castle wall. Ooh,
Oh man, typical.
Aegon.
That's a double T, Bubba.
Double T.
Typical Targaryen, very mean. All right, well, look, Bubba, I think we've got some more
Get ready.
close matches here, okay? Because Jack Klompus at BT Mac 11 calls him Sir Duncan the Turd Cutter.
Why do we have to keep reminding ourselves of that scene?
Our Triple L, long time loyal listener. Dooley's left legs calls him Sir Duncan the Arse Rainer. Brooklyn Days calls him Sir Duncan the Shitter.
Hey, there you go.
And Cam Shea 23, another longtime loyal listener, calls him Sir Duncan the Exploder.
Oh.
Also, on a serious note, Sir Duncan the Naive. He is naive, but he's still awesome.
Heck yeah. Thank you guys so much. We're going to play these match games all throughout this season. We put out these match games on social media. We put them out on our YouTube post page. Please play along, and we're going to give you some more challenging questions as they go along. Catfish.
All right, this is just easy.
Let's get to it. One thing that we always have been doing is naming our favorite scene of the episode. This is an episode, the longest episode, we're told, of season 1, and that was about 42 to 45 minutes with credits. So this is the longest episode. Catfish, what was your favorite scene, or what was the best scene of episode 1?
Okay, I don't know if it was the best scene, but my favorite scene is that opening scene.
Oh, wow.
With him talking about his sir, the stop raping sir, which Bubba, I've watched that opening scene like 4 times, and every time he says that, I just break out into laughter. He's so
Would he make a good cop?
unimposing.
Would he make a good member of the City Watch? With his relatively, soft-spoken, hey, quit that, buddy.
No, also it's just like he's just going to stumble upon that on the street. It's just really...
Hey, this is King's Landing, baby. Come on.
And just that triumphant music, and then the punctuation on that music. It really was like, oh my God, we're just going to have fun here. It's not like they're taking the piss out of Game of Thrones.
No, not at all.
Not at all. But it's like, oh my God, this is going to be fun. And so for me, that was my favorite scene of the episode. When you see a new show, and it's so rare to feel like, man, they're like already like understand what they're going to do in this show. And to me, the confidence of that first scene just made me, all right, I can relax into the show. They know what they're doing.
Heck
so that's for me, Bubba, just right off the top. Boom.
Well, I'm going to go with a scene that is your main key word, fun. My favorite scene in this episode is going into Lionel Baratheon's tent. Uninvited, I'm a +1 of the Fossaway Squire here. I'm going to come in And every little moment of it brought a smile to my face. Dunk is there. Why? He wants food, baby. And when he
Right.
grabs that, I don't even know what it was. Was it a leg of lamb? That thing was huge. He looked so hungry. That's great. He gets pulled over. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? Everybody here wants something from me. What did you want from me? Food. And then Lionel Baratheon's classic. Yeah, that makes sense. Love it. Love it. The dancing could have, and if listeners, if it came off this way to you, tell me. It could have come off as too silly, too comical. Hey, are you going to let me stamp on your foot? No, you're going to stamp on my foot. This could have come across, over the top, for lack of a better word. I smiled the whole way through. I did laugh a couple of times at the ridiculousness of it. This whole first season, and the story, I should say, is relatively set at this tournament. We're not going anywhere else. Spoiler alert for the rest of this season. But you almost understand why you could do a season at a tournament. Everybody's there to have fun. Let's roll. Let's go. Heck, this is all my favorite entertainment. Puppet shows, sassy talking women. What don't I love? What is there not to love?
Redheads.
Redheads.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, when you mentioned with the dancing, where they're like, he's going to dance, and I'm like, oh God, he's going to be
Yeah.
horrible. Now, he's not horrible. He's not,
Eh.
not sophisticated, but it's not like completely foolish, and he's into it. Now, Bubba, I thought you were going to say the scene when he goes in to try to enlist in the tournament, and the
Oh man.
functionary there describes a very painful occurrence that could happen if you lose a tournament. It looks like, nah, I'm just kidding.
Right. He's almost describing something that you would see on House of the Dragon. That you would see
Exactly,
Ramsay Bolton
exactly,
have. Like he's describing
exactly.
these things that are believable. And then he's like, what are you, come on, kid. This is the reach, baby. We were
Right,
chill
right, right,
here.
right, right. In fact, that might be more pleasurable to see than some of the birthing scenes in House of the Dragon.
All of them more pleasant than all of them. Oh my gosh. But Catfish, let's go even to that scene. That scene is fun. And there's one thing that we talk about on a lot of our shows. It goes back to our coverage of the Terror season 1. Ice cold disses. These aren't always ice cold. But everybody just disses poor Dunk. These are Dunk disses that are so great. This is a tournament for knights, not farmers. Well, I'm not a farmer. Well, you dressed as one. Oh, snap. And poor Egg. Egg is, how old is this kid, do you think? Looking at this kid, how old do you think he is? 8, 9? He is just like,
Yeah.
man, you're wearing a belt, dude. Well, I know the knights need squires, and looking at you, you need about 50 squires. Dear God, you're a piece of crap.
I mean, the only thing that was not like super fun and enjoyable was thinking of this poor guy like you're like there's no way he has a shot. And so he's just going to be bereft of everything. So thinking of that possibility was the only thing that made it like less fun because
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Oh yeah.
there don't necessarily need to be such drastic consequences for failure. Like I don't need huge stakes in this show.
And to say this, there is the one scene that's not fun. He goes up to the guy. He's like, hey, Sir Arlen fought with your father against this, villain in the woods, the Vulture King. You're going to vouch for me, right? And he's like, my dad took hundreds of people up in those woods, and some suffered more than a arrow wound. What? The arrow wound isn't enough for you to vouch or remember this guy? What a jerk.
Well, I listen, I'm okay with that because
Oh, really?
because we need some bad people who are going to get hoisted on their petards. I thought that was going to be Lionel, but he seems
Okay.
like he's okay. So we need some baddies here to see get theirs.
Well, you are bringing up these characters. Hey, we need some. Lionel may not be. I always don't know. I apologize. And I never know the lawful good, unlawful good, and all this stuff. And Lionel seems, like neutral good. He's not good or bad. He's like, well, can you help me? Nah, I'm drunk. So let's get into our character tourney rundown, Catfish. Not all of these characters are going to participate in the tourney, but they're all
Okay.
brand new. And one thing we know about Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon is they bring up characters that you love to hate, that are memorable. And let's go through them and let's just talk about, do you love them? Are they memorable? Or are you engaged? Or are you like, why are they here in the story? We'll start with the two big ones, Dunk and Egg. Let's start with Sir Duncan the Tall. You've already said how you feel about many other thoughts you want to say about this actor, this former rugby player who's playing the big old lunk Dunk.
He's just, it's kind of difficult because he's not the smartest dude in the world, but he's not dumb.
Right.
And he seems just like a real kind of sweet-natured guy. So you really and to be honest, it's hard to do what he did in that first scene, to be just kind of acting by himself, talking to the horses, to go through all that. That's hard, and he's very likable.
I 100% agree. Even though I love the ice cold dissing that Dunk takes,
Sure.
he has that one line which the first time I heard it, and I actually think they released this scene early, of him telling the women, "Why must you mock me?" Or how he says it. You're suddenly like, "Oh, come on, buddy, we're doing this in good fun." It's kind of like the Fossaway Squire who called you a half man. Yeah, we're teasing you, but we're teasing you because we like you. And
Come
so,
on. It's with
yeah.
love. It's without disdain. That's as much as you can hope for, really.
Catfish, you say you read these so long ago.
Yeah.
If this guy gets into the tournament, outside of his size, does he have anything going for him? Because he certainly couldn't have had good training. He even lists all the reasons why he won't be good. Any prayer for this guy other than the fact that he's just a big ass dude?
I mean, I would have said that maybe he had a good horse, but then he also says that his former master never won any tournaments either. So I don't know.
Okay, so we like Dunk. Listeners, how do you feel
Yeah.
about our one of our two main protagonists? The other one really didn't appear in this first episode. I didn't think too much, and that is wannabe Squire Egg. Let me say, if you're going to cast a kid who needs to be called Egg and he's going to be a bald-headed kid, I think that kid's shape of his head works perfectly well for Egg. And he is, like I said, I love all of his not quite ice cold disses, maybe lukewarm cold disses. I liked Egg a lot, and I thought as a child actor, I thought he was pretty good. What'd you think of young Squire Egg?
I like him for a character who's going to be, he's not an irritating, smart, wiseacre kid.
Wow. But he is,
So,
in many ways, he is smarter than Dunk,
oh,
and you
oh,
almost
absolutely.
need that.
Absolutely. I completely agree, but it's tough to have a smart, wiseacre kid who doesn't sound like a 40-year-old or just a kid that you want to treat like Dunk's sir treated him.
Catfish, let's go a bit off the beaten path for a
Do it.
second here because you are correct. The child actors and child's performances are really, really tough to dial correctly. This is now three shows set in the Song of Ice and Fire universe. Have any of the kid actors kind of not come through in your opinion? Because a lot of times these kid actors have to do a lot of heavy lifting. And outside of one that appeared in barely a scene in one episode, I think all the kids have been great.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have had issues talking about shows before where we wanted kids to be wiped out, even though they were very important characters.
Right. It's funny. Bran gets spoiler alert for the first episode of Game of Thrones. We've had Bran gets thrown out the window in the first episode, but that performance and that character and that actor, you're like, oh, don't throw him out the window. We've had plenty of shows where you're like, throw this child actor and character out the window. Dear God,
Get him out. Now,
character.
one, Bubba, I did read something
Oh, okay.
before this, so I do know something that is different from the books, and that is that Lionel was not really a significant character in this novella.
No, he was not. In fact, this scene that I mentioned is my favorite scene of the episode is created entirely for the show. But of course, I really enjoyed the scene, so I'm like, that's fine, let's go. Any
Right.
thoughts about this character who goes by his moniker, the Laughing Storm, Lionel the Laughing Storm Baratheon?
Well, now I see why he is Lionel the Laughing Storm. It's interesting because when they first presented him, I thought, oh God, this, even though it was a little bit funny, I was like, this guy's just a blowhard that I'm just not going to want to spend time with, but very enjoyable.
One thing that I think is safe to say for all our non-novella readers is that at times, actually, forget that at times, Martin, in addition to having characters across hundreds of years of generations, they all, have certain family traits like Baratheons with dark hair. But it really does feel like when he wrote this, he was like, okay, this is set 89 years before Robert is king in the first episode of Game of Thrones. But how do I show a Baratheon who's kind of like a life of the party like Robert was supposed to be? Let's make this guy. And I think it works. I think it totally works.
Absolutely.
And I think later on in this season, we might see other characters who are like, how can these family not only look the same, but also kind of members of the family have the exact same personalities hundreds of years apart? Let's do it. We had that spitting steward, Plumber, who was the one who ended up being he was a tough but fair, right? He's like, listen, if somebody can vouch for you, you can get in. Any thoughts on that character? I have no idea if we'll see him again. I assume we will as Dunk finally gets admitted, but you like this guy?
I love him. I love him.
Okay, how about the character who appears dead in the very first scene, but we see him in a couple flashbacks, Sir Arlen of Pennytree, Dunk's dead master. I think the most interesting moment in this is where Dunk's like, he always wanted me to be a knight. And then we flash back to him saying, kid Dunk saying, will I be a knight, Sir Arlen? Silence. So he beats him and he doesn't say, oh yeah, kid, you're going to be a great knight. He's like, yeah, that's not worthy of speaking to. Whoa.
Not even training. I mean, I would say the only thing that's, and maybe I wasn't paying close enough attention, and maybe we'll see some flashbacks. I still don't have any idea how little, if any, training he got from Arlen. So that's the only thing that's kind of up in the air. Because if he's had none, he's got no shot, even in this in this one horse town that they're having this competition in.
I agree. I also think there's no guarantee. There are rumors that we're going to have some flashbacks, including in the penultimate episode, people. But the one thing I would say is that what we saw of Sir Arlen, the former master, in this episode, it almost doesn't jive with the beginning of the episode where, Dunk is crying and torn up. I wish you didn't die, sir. So, in addition to the slapping and the nonverbal communication, I assume at a certain point we're going to see why Duncan was, really loyal to this guy, Sir Arlen, R.I.P. Sir Arlen, out of here.
I mean, it might just be exactly what he said to Egg. Maybe he gave the same speech to Egg that Sir Arlen said. Listen, it's not going to be a great life, and we're not going to eat well, but I promise you won't starve. Real inspirational.
Listen, we're never going to sleep indoors. When it rains, we got to hope we're under a tree with shade.
We will always be able to catch
be miserable.
The falling star.
It's going to be damn miserable for your whole life, but you won't exactly starve to death. Come aboard. Any thoughts? We didn't spend too much time with him. We saw what I would call angry dude, Sir Stefan Fossaway, who's getting ready for the tourney by beating the crap out of his cousin, I believe, Sir Raymond Fossaway, the little squire. Any thoughts on these two who, have a real healthy family relationship like we all do at Christmas?
Just more jerks. We need more jerks to get their comeuppance. This seems like one, but again, they set him up as seems like he knows what he's doing. He's got some skills.
True.
So
that's true.
Again, we are reminded in this that the people who have money are part of houses, even smaller houses, get all kinds of training. I mean, even Ned Stark up in his crap hole got some special training for Arya. So
you're always terrible with these Zillow listings. You always call these places. Winterfell was a nice castle. Terrible weather.
What a crap hole.
All right, how about the true biggest a-hole in this episode. That is Sir Manfred Dondarrion, who once again, Dunk comes up. You know, he is very genuine, very kind of heartfelt. Hey, you knew Sir Arlen. He fought for your family. Can you vouch for me? And he's like, screw you, kid. I don't remember you. I got these two sweet ladies. Get out of my face. Whew. If you need
Listen,
some,
what if somebody
an
came up?
arse.
What if somebody came up to you
To
and
me.
said, "Listen,
Okay.
listen, I gave your grandfather a ride one time when he was stuck out in the snow and saved his life. Can you give me $50?" You'd be like, "I don't know you, bro. I don't know you.
Granddaddy,
I don't know you."
Granddaddy was in the snow.
Unless Granddaddy was like, "Remember that guy? I'll always remember someone saved me from
Come
the
here,
snow."
son. Come here. Come here, grandson. Let me tell you a story.
They'd
Is it
around.
about how you met grandma? No. About my mom and dad? No. Is it about me? No. It's about you? No. It's about this jerk who picked me up.
Now, look, we skipped over, we sort of talked about him, but Sir Raymond Fossaway, the cousin,
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy.
he's the one who helps Dunk out, brings him to the free buffet, and then abandons him so he's got to deal with Lionel himself.
Right, right. Why not? Well, isn't that something though? It's like, hey, are you hungry? Here, let me help you out. You got some food? Good. Okay, I'm gonna peace out. I got stuff I want to do. I want to talk to some ladies. I think Raymond had his, Raymond's fine to leave. I think that's fine.
He's like, "Look, my grandfather gave your
That's
grandfather a
not
ride,
it's fine.
so I'm going to take you somewhere to get some free food. But if you get caught,
Right. Dude, Don Darien didn't even do that. He goes, okay, I don't remember you. I don't remember Sir Arlen at all. But here, come here. I'm gonna do the equivalent of giving you a ride in the snow. Okay. How about Puppet Lady? Obviously, they spent a lot of time focused on this woman who works at the Dragon and Knight puppet show. Any thoughts about her other than she's a cutie there? And Dunk is,
I mean, that was my thought. Like I was
some-
kind of as entranced as Dunk was. So at least he's got some good taste in the ladies.
And then what about the Greek chorus of nice, friendly, smack talking ladies of the side aisle Sallies, the nice whores? Any thoughts about them?
That's the best part. You tried to add all those words to it, but I look in the
Side
document
alley
and you simply have
Sallies.
just put nice whores.
I don't know their
That
names.
is the
Okay, hold on.
best.
Their names.
That
One
is the best. No,
one
no,
is
no.
named Red.
No, we're
One
gonna
is-
call them red. We're gonna call them the nice whores.
Did
You
you
know
like
what?
them? They're friendly.
I
Hey,
did
you know
like
what?
them. I did like them. They're living the life. They got knowledge. They got inside information. So
True.
listen, if he gets his stuff together, I'm sure they've got more information about people's weaknesses, stuff like that. They could really help him out.
Yeah, and once again, everybody's at the tourney to have fun. These women, who I'm sure are getting paid, are also going to have some fun and tease this local rube Dunk. Why not?
Yeah.
Listeners, do you have a favorite character in this first episode? Go down in the comments and let us know. What time is it now, Catfish?
It is time for match game 2. All right, here's your question. I will unfold and hold the tiny microphone up. If Sir Dunk and Sir Lionel the Laughing Storm Baratheon were to make a reality TV show, it would be called blank.
Doom, do, 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 doom, do, 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 do. Wow.
Boom.
If Sir Dunk and Sir Lionel Baratheon were to make a reality show, it would be called Dancing with the Sirs.
That is excellent.
There you
Bubba,
go.
you've crushed me on it because my answer was if Sir Dunk and Sir Lionel were to make a reality TV show, it would be called Stomp.
That would be like an off-Broadway show. Is that? Let's
Yeah,
stop.
yeah, well, yeah. But you know what? You can still steal that name.
No, that's pretty good. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
If they were to make a reality show, our good buddy Satan Claus says it would be called The Real Hedge Knights of Ashford.
All right. And Pat Man says if they were to make a reality show, it would be
Yeah.
called Dude, Where's my antlered crown?
Ooh, dude, where's my
Oh,
crown?
now Bubba, get the bell ready
Okay, the
because
belly.
Dooley's left leg
Okay.
says Dancing with the Starks. See what I did there?
Oh,
Sorry.
great. That's close enough for a match. Oh, wait, and look at this. Harley Camille Camshay 23 on Instagram and Threads. What did she say? She said the reality show would be called Dancing with the Stags. Heck
Oh,
yeah.
you know what? I felt like we really built there. We were like, this is good. Yours was good. And then Dooley brought it to another level. And then Cam Shay took it all the way to the top. That is amazing.
Excellent job, loyal listeners. Hey, Catfish, every week we're going to pick a character from the show who
Mhm.
won the tourney. Who is your champion for episode one?
It's got to be Sir Lionel. I mean, he just
Man.
brought it and he brought it hard. He brought it so hard that it became your favorite scene, even though it
Hey,
wasn't mine. So, Bubba, I know you are going to agree with me since he's in your favorite scene. So go ahead and say that Sir Lionel is your champion of the week.
no. The champion has to be the one that defeats all comers. And so, who defeated all comers? The steward who said, Dunk, you can't get in. He defeated Dunk. He's the champion this week.
I thought it was the champion would be whatever Dunk ate.
Right, exactly. Dunk got
All right,
food.
Bubba,
He won. He
we've
won.
got our tourney battle. Bubba, your question is, should this have been a memo? No. Should this have been an email? No. Should this have been a movie?
Mm,
Bubba,
yeah.
what's your answer to that?
Well, Catfish,
Hmm.
this goes a bit into my knowledge of the novella. And I know there are going to be people listening to this podcast who have not read the novella. So I'm going to keep this relatively as spoiler free as I can. And what I would
Okay.
say is that Catfish, give me a one line elevator pitch of the movie Rocky, which is nearly 50 years old, best picture winner. So there are no spoilers here. Give me your one sentence pitch for Rocky, the
I
movie.
would just say down on his luck fighter gets to face a champion.
That is 100% what I was going to say. That's
No,
what
yes.
everybody would say.
Okay.
And so what's interesting about that is that that is the story of the movie, right? If you were to apply the same kind of breaking Rocky up into 6 episodes, this is the equivalent of down on his luck boxer in Philadelphia is a muscle man for some loan sharks and has a crush on a girl in a pet shop. Like we haven't even gotten to the point where Apollo Creed's fight falls apart and he needs to pick somebody at random to fight, and he picks this local guy from where the fight's going to take place, Philadelphia. So if this were Rocky the movie, this first episode didn't even get to the setup of the movie, which is a down on his luck boxer, by chance gets an opportunity to fight the champion of the sport. And so it is real weird to have an episode that I enjoyed. Once again, listeners, 8 out of 10. I had a smile the whole time. But we watched one episode, 1/6 of this thing. In a lot of ways, it feels like we haven't even gotten to what the story really is. What's the story of Rocky? This guy gets a chance to fight the champ. What is the story of this novella? It really feels like we haven't gotten to it. So I have a great suspicion that I'm going to enjoy this show and I'm going to love this show. But in the back of my head, I am always going to wonder, why didn't they just make this a movie? Because, this is not a Rocky story, but it is kind of a Rocky story. So that's my thought. Maybe it should have been a movie. What about you? What do you think?
Well, again, and I can't go against anything you say since I've forgotten everything except for, the fact that there's Duncan Egg and,
Okay.
that he's a lowly, that he's a hedge knight, basically. But what I will say is this, I don't believe, and I could be wrong, that there are a lot of kind of amazing set pieces in this that you would need for a movie, I think back even to a movie that I'm so sad did not make any money. And again, these kinds of movies are real hit and miss, and they really have to have strong properties behind them to be a hit. So
Yeah.
I think of the Dungeons and Dragons movie,
Oh, so
which
fun.
did have a lot of set pieces
Yeah.
and was very fun and was just sort of a bomb.
Yeah.
Sadly, so sadly, was a bomb. So, uh, even though the story may not be what we think it is now, which is he's trying to the as far as we know in this first episode, the end of this will be him in the tournament. Even if it's not that, we have a need right now. We have something for him to aim for. And I just feel like without a lot of bing, boom, bam that you need in movies, that it's better to sort of stretch it out into a more leisurely series that doesn't require what is your most important thing, really, for anything, fireworks.
Right. Where the but listen, puppet shows are great, but a puppet show with fireworks.
This is every longtime listeners know Bubba is always like, where's the fireworks factory? I need it in the first 10 minutes of the first
Well, no. How
episode
about this?
and
You
every
gotta.
10 minutes after that.
Oh, come on. Did you feel? How about this? Did you feel this episode had an ending, or did you feel the episode stopped? Like I kind of felt at times with Andor. Did you feel that? Like, did you feel this is the an ending to the episode?
I mean, yeah, I did. I agree. There was no like, oh my God, I can't. It's like, I need to like, we need to get right to what's going on next time. But I feel like a lot of shows that do that are really kind of, it's really kind of cheap, and then they don't really pay it off in the next episode. I was
No, I
fine
love
with
that.
the leisurely pace and having an end to it.
Okay. Hey, listeners, who cares what we think? We want to know what you think. Who won
True.
this tournament? Sir Catfish, the short, or or Sir Bubba the dumb? Which one of us won this tourney? You get to vote. Go down in those comments on social media at WPHQ. Tell us who won. Catfish, the final question before we get to our listeners' great
Yeah.
feedback is we asked this question at the very opening of this podcast. Has HBO gone 3 for 3 on Game of Thrones spinoffs? Or Game
Ooh.
of Thrones series, excuse me.
I would say they've gone probably 2.5 out of 3, but
Whoa,
I'm
I
not going to
love
give the
it.
half to this one. I'm giving this the full one.
All right, I love it.
I am going to say that I'm just enjoying how this is going. Again, when you're in a Star Wars universe, Star Trek universe, you can play at things in a different way. And I'm really enjoying this a lot more than just the heaviness and the complicatedness of House of the Dragon.
Heck yeah. I'm going to go full 3 out of 3. The
Okay,
one
three,
that
three.
I would maybe go down a bit on is I've certainly expressed a lot of issues with certain things in House of the Dragon, but when it delivers the goods, it is great. So I'm going to go 3 for 3. Listeners, what do you think? And we're going to get to what you think. We asked you for your feedback on this first episode, The Hedge
Love it.
Knight. You guys gave us so much. Our good loyal listener, we've already heard from her already. Cam Shea 23 on Thread said the whole episode was really good, minus Catfish's favorite scene, the poo seed. Camille also says, I also spent the whole episode worrying that someone would steal his horses.
I'm completely onto that one. Completely believe it. And now Jules SST says, I went in with a big bottle of haterade ready to roll
Whoa.
my eyes, and I was delighted by it.
Oh, wow.
What an absolutely surprisingly lovely and funny show.
Love that feedback, Jules. Thank you so much. Jen the, that's Thee nurse, Jen the nurse on Threads wrote, being one of those annoying book purists, it was
Catfish.
very
Bubba.
it was very close to the source material, both the novella and the older graphic novel. Some of the scenes look like they were plucked from the images from those.
But not that one part.
Not the one part that Catfish was the only person who loved. Jen wrote, I am very pleased so far. Thank you, Jen.
All right, and Dooley's left leg says, as for the episode, I didn't want it to finish. It
Whoa.
was short, but I loved every second. I think the casting is terrific up to now. Love the little nods to Game of Thrones and to the novels. Episode wise, I'd mark it down to 8 double THs.
Wait, 8 double THs?
Yeah, theme tune throwbacks. Literally thrown back because it was too short and not a lot happened. But that's me being greedy, I think.
Oh, thank you so much. On Blue Sky, a great listener, Gen X Cat Mom at All Mod Cons with a Z on Blue Sky.
Yep.
They wrote, the first episode gets 8 out of 10 double Ds.
Double Ds.
Well, she's like you, Catfish. She wrote dunk defecation.
Ring the bell.
Yeah, a match game. There we go. Gen X Cat Mom continues, I wasn't expecting gross bodily functions in this first episode, but here we are. I thought all the actors did a great job. I'm enjoying the lighter tone versus House of the Dragon. They are bringing the novella to life in a cool way. Oh, thank you so much, Gen X Cat Mom.
I love it. Keep bringing all the feedback.
Heck
And
yeah.
watch out for the match game questions.
Yes.
So delightful. And next week we have episode 2, Hard Salted Beef. Dunk appeals to several lords to gain entry into the tournament, but Egg advises him to hold on to his pride. When the Targaryens arrive at Ashford, Dunk seizes the moment with Prince Baelor.
Ooh, wow. Okay, here we go.
All right.
For everybody here at Double P Media, Double PHQ, my name's Bubba. You can find me on social media with my handle at FittinTrim. That's FITTENTRIM, FITTEN Trim on social media.
All right, and you can hit me up at Instagram and Blue Sky at G to the man. That's GETOTHEMAN. And we'll talk to you next week on the
Joffrey of
Podcasts. Squirt.
No, you're the only one who liked it.
I didn't like it.
You loved it.
Okay, all right, I loved it.